Welcome to another edition of the Hoop Scoop. I'm Jarret Johnson. I have to say, I'm really excited because the 2020-21 men's college basketball regular season is over. It's time for postseason play. And let's be honest. I mean, I love basketball, just period. I'll watch it at almost any level. But college basketball is all about the NCAA tournament and postseason play. And then there's a nice buffer between the regular season and the NCAA tournament. And those are the conference tournaments. And the Big 12, they tip off Wednesday afternoon. Now, Texas Tech, they earned a 6th seed, so they earned a first-round bye. They don't play till Thursday night. And we'll get to that schedule, but I really want to preview the Big 12 tournament. I want to predict who I think is going to win, and then just kind of talk about some matchups here. Let's start with Wednesday night. The 8th seed in the Big 12 tournament, TCU takes on the 9th seed, Kansas State, and that is 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Even though Kansas State's the 9th seed and TCU's the 8th seed, I really think Kansas State wins this game. Whether it be Cameron McGurl, some of their freshmen and sophomore bigs and guards are really stepping up. So I feel like I said, between McGurl and some of their guard play, I feel like Kansas State has the advantage here. I feel like the Wildcats have played better down the stretch, and that's who I think advances out of that first-round game. All right, then Oklahoma is really, we knew that, look, the top 7 of the Big 12, really, really good teams. All of them are capable of making it into the Sweet 16 and some beyond. Oklahoma has spent time in the top 10 this year, but they have to play on the first day, and they're the 7th seed. So that is really gives you an idea of just how good this conference is. They take on Iowa State. I'm not going to waste too much time detailing this game. I really believe Oklahoma rolls easily. So that takes us to Thursday. That's March 11th. The first game is at 10:30. This is a great game. The number 4 seed in this Big 12 tournament, West Virginia versus the 5 seed Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma State just went up to West Virginia without Isaac Likely and then without Cade Cunningham, the Big 12 Player of the Year, and still beat West Virginia there, which is, I didn't see that game, just being honest. But that sounds insane to me. But that gives you an idea of just how much Oklahoma State is coming on. And I'm really high on West Virginia, so despite that recent result, I think West Virginia, McBride, Culver, all those guys, Taz Sherman, I think they get it done against Oklahoma State and advance on. And what should still be, that should be a really good game. That's a coin toss game, honestly. All right, the next game is Baylor, and it's versus the Game 1 winner. So I think it's going to be Kansas State. And I think whether it be Kansas State or TCU, Baylor will roll easily. That game is the tip-off is scheduled for 1:30. The next game is Kansas, and they'll play who I believe will be Oklahoma, more than likely. They play at 5:30. Kansas has really come on. David McCormack has really upped his game. I think that's really elevated Kansas. I think they're not quite to a regular Kansas that we're used to, dominant. But I mean, they're the 2nd seed in this tournament. They're a top 20, top 15 team, and I really like the way they've been playing. I've watched a couple of their games here over the last couple of weeks. They look really good. They've really upped their play. Coach Bill Self, I mean, he receives a lot of criticism for some of the drama off the court, but man, on the court, he's a heck of a coach, and he has the team playing really good basketball right now. So I have Kansas beating Oklahoma, but that could be another knockdown drag out there. Like I said, Oklahoma has been a top 10 team this year. All right, next game, Texas versus Texas Tech, and Texas is the 3 seed. Texas Tech is the 6th seed. And this is 8:30 Thursday night. And that's interesting that Texas is, by seeding considered the favorite. They're ranked higher in the AP poll, but Tech swept them in the regular season, and Tech has won 7 of the last 8. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know, as of right now, I haven't looked and seen how Vegas has this game, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tech is favored. So, I think the Red Raiders, it's tough to beat a team in 3 times in one season. But like I said, Tech swept them. There were close games. And Tech has won 7 of 8, though. So I also find it interesting, by the way, that this was the game Tech was going to play Texas in this matchup this time last year. And they were called off the court during warm-ups when all of our worlds got rocked by COVID. So that's really crazy that it's only been a year since that happened, because that really marked the start of the COVID era for me personally. So that's really crazy that they're playing again. Just a year later, here we are after all this happened. They're back. They're going to play each other in Kansas City in the Big 12 tournament. So, but I think TJ Shannon is healthy. He's dunking on people again. That's good to see. Kyler Edwards has really upped his game. McClung could come on, bounce back from a subpar game. He had a really good game against Iowa State just before this last game against Baylor. I think Tech handles their business, but Texas is a really talented team, and it should be a good game. But I have Tech winning that game. All right, then you move on to Friday, and the way I have it set up is where West Virginia and Baylor would play. And I think this is going to surprise some people, but I think West Virginia upsets Baylor. I think they have the pieces to make it happen. Like I said, the inside-outside game, guys like McBride, who I'm a really big fan of, Taz Sherman, some other three-point shooters on the perimeter surrounding Culver, Culver should be able to do some damage against Baylor in terms of size, though Baylor's a very good defensive team. So it's going to require Baylor having a cold night and McBride really doing his thing, but I do think West Virginia can beat Baylor. And this isn't a slight to Baylor. I still think they're probably a Final Four team. They could win it all. They're that good. But I think West Virginia wins this matchup in the Big 12 tournament in the semifinals to go to the finals. Now, so that makes, on the other side of the bracket in the semifinals, I have Kansas and Tech. And as much as I'd like to say, Tech will beat Kansas, like I said before, Kansas is on a roll right now. I think they're playing really good basketball. I think they're out to prove, since they didn't, they're used to winning the regular season, and they didn't. I think they're out to prove something, that they're still Kansas. I think they beat Texas Tech in what will be another close game. I mean, it should come down to the final possession or two. So Kansas and West Virginia in the finals. I think Kansas rolls on to a Big 12 tournament final championship. This isn't something like I would desire, but that's how I see it. I really think Kansas is hot right now. They have something to prove. In these Big 12 tournaments, just quite honestly, they're not the biggest deal. These coaches are gearing up for the NCAA tournament. Like, for example, if Texas Tech were to win the Big 12 championship and then go lose in the first round in the NCAA tournament, I would consider it a failure of a season. And I think most people would in Red Raider Nation. Now, if Tech loses the first game to Texas, but then goes to the Sweet 16, I think I would call it a great season. So that's just how each are weighed, how heavily each are weighed, at least in my opinion, and most people I know, and I believe that to be just the case in general. So, another thing that's great is after this tournament's over, right after it's over, you have Selection Sunday, and we'll get to see where Tech is. I think Tech right now is projected as a 5 seed, so it'll be interesting to see if they can win a couple of games. Maybe they can improve their seeding, because I think if they lose to Texas in their first game, I don't think Tech drops down to a 6 seed, but we'll just have to see how it all plays out. It is truly exciting times to be a college basketball fan, and certainly a Texas Tech basketball fan. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.